You guys, I totally did it. That was crazy, right? That was a lot of stuff to pay attention to. Even I had a hard time with it, and I had to like stop and really think about what I was doing. Let me show you what mine looks like. Okay, so this is crazy. So up here, I have my fronts, right? And this is a little stitch marker to show me that this was the front side, because sometimes I get confused between front and back. So I have the fronts here, and then I have the shoulder join where I picked up stitches on both sides. And then I have the back that is sitting on this not waist yarn, but another cable. Okay, so basically we started here, we joined, we did this on camera so you were able to see this. We did the shaping through here. We did the buttonholes. Okay, check this out. I only have 2 buttonholes. There's a buttonhole there, that was the first one that you did right away, and then 14 rows and you did another one. So let me show you where I'm at in the pattern here. If you look at this buttonhole band, I started keeping track of how many I was doing, so I'd make a little tick after every single row. So I got 1 buttonhole done in this part here in the ribbing, and then it said to shape armhole, and I started working down to the shape armhole, and I only got 11 rows in right there. So I still have a lot of buttonholes to do, so I still have to keep track of what's going on. So I worked all the way through shape armhole here for my size, and then it says all sizes, break yarn and put stitches on hold. So I broke the yarn. Where's my tail? It's somewhere around here. Oh, over here. And these stitches are on hold. I just kind of shoved them on my working cable and just kind of let them hang out here for ease. But you can put them on waste yarn or another cable, that's fine. So then the next one, the next instruction here was left front. With right side facing, pick up a knit. Okay, so same deal. I picked up a knit over here and came all the way up. I did my fun shaping, and of course we have a buttonhole band here, but there's no buttonholes, thankfully, so that was pretty easy. And then, so let's see. So I got through all here, and then I got to the shape armhole, and then I'm right here. All sizes, do not break yarn. So we are at join body. So first I want to explain exactly what we're going to do here, because this is a little bit complicated, and then we're going to work back and forth for a little while before we join in the round. So right here we are at join body, okay? So basically, like you can see, I went through and I circled all of the things that I need to do here. So what they want you to do is, you're starting on the left side that your live yarn is still stuck to this side, okay? So what you're going to do is you're going to knit across in the lace pattern, okay? You're going to knit across here. Once you get to here, you're going to cast on a bunch of stitches. Then, let's just get this laid out like this. Then you're going to join it to the front over here. You're going to cast on some stitches here. Then you're going to join it here, and you're going to knit across the back side in pattern. Once you get to here, you're going to cast on some more stitches, and it's going to join with this guy over here, and then you're going to knit to the edge, okay? So this is kind of, at this point, like a cardigan, because the front part is open here, okay? So I'm going to pretend like I've done that. We know how to cast on, so you can see it's kind of in a circle format right now, so it'll be a little odd to manage. But what's going to happen is then you're going to work back and forth. You're going to go all the way around here, and then here, and then here, and then here, back and forth. Okay, so let's quickly look at the pattern. So here's the joined body. Now you have all your body joined. Oh, and then count your stitches. That's always good, because sometimes if you're missing 1 or 2, it's nice to just like sneak them in somewhere. Especially with the pattern, that can be a little bit difficult. Okay, next part here. Next row, there's a wrong side, and then it just says continue working in established pattern until 4 rows past your 5th buttonhole. So I'm going to have to find this page over here, and I'm going to have to start keeping track of my buttonholes again. as soon as you start the first row to join them and you do the pattern across the front and then across the back and then across the other front again, that's another row. So once you're done joining the body, make a tick, that's one row. And then when you come back and you kind of purl off the back side of it, that's another row, and then you turn around and it'll probably be time for a buttonhole. So again, keep track of your buttonholes, make sure that that's happening. And then it's nice because you're just going to work in pattern right here, continue working an established pattern until 4 rows past your 5th buttonhole, ending on a right side row. So you're going to just kind of, now it's kind of nice and easy, and you're just going to follow the lace pattern going back and forth, keeping track of your buttonholes until you get past your 5th buttonhole. So basically you're going to do your buttonhole on a right side row, your 5th buttonhole, and you're going to stop right there. Now, next row is on the wrong side. Okay, you're going to do a wrong side row. Now, I have a star here. So this is page 9. So everybody grab a pen. And I want you to put a star right here by next row right side right here. And we're just going to write stop. Okay, what happens here is we stop going back and forth across the yoke, and then we join it to make the little placket. So we're going to get there, and then I'll meet you back here and I'll show you about the placket. Let me just pull a picture in. So you can kind of see here, we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 buttonholes. Once you get past the 5th buttonhole, this opens to here. But then after this, it's worked in the round. So this point right here below that 5th buttonhole is where we are going to overlap the stitches and then start in the round. Okay, so your job is to get to that point where we wrote stop. Okay, right here on page 9, get all the way through here, and then I will meet you there and we will overlap those two to make the placket, and then we'll join and knit in the round. So see you there. Good luck. Okay guys, so I'm working the row where you join all of the parts of the body together, and that particular row is a big long row. You have to cast on, you have to place markers, you have to shimmy things on, you know, stitches, etc. And I'm going through it, and I find that for my size, which is the medium, I'm working row 3 of hourglass. So when it says to work the following row of hourglass, wherever you ended before, it should be the next round. For me, it's round 3. I think for all sizes, it should be round 3. I'm not entirely sure. But in order for you to tell if you're on the right thing, also to make sure that, you know, your stitches aren't off, sometimes we lose a stitch. I was working the pattern and I kind of found a little hint and I wanted to show it to you. So I'm working row 3 here. So I do 2 stitches, and then I do a knit 2 together, double yarn over, slip, slip, knit, knit 2. Now this row is helpful because you can kind of tell where you're at. Okay, so let's see, let me find my live yarn here and get this picked up and show you my little hint. Let's get some yarn pulled out of here. Okay, so I think I just did a knit 2. I did. Okay, so I'm just going to put this over here so you can kind of see. All right, so now I'm going to do a knit 2 together. So I'm going to knit these 2 together, and then I'm going to do a double yarn over. So if you're looking at this pattern, you can see that directly below there's a space here, but then there's a yarn over right here. See that? Your next double yarn over should be right above, centered right above that. Okay, so you can see that here's my double yarn over. There is a row here and a row there, and I'm right in the middle of it. So that means my double yarn over is going to be centered right above this. So that's perfect. I'm right on track. So I'm going to perform my double yarn over. Then I need to do a slip, slip, knit. So I do a slip, and very carefully with the splitty silk, is a knit, okay? And then the next is a knit 2. Now, here's another double yarn over. See this guy right here? See how big that guy is? I should be doing a knit 2 right above that yarn over. And if you look carefully, these 2 stitches are centered right above that yarn over, so I should be able to do a knit 1 and a knit 2. And then we start it over, okay? So this is a little hint just to help you read your knitting. I know like lace patterns are difficult to follow, and if you get one stitch off, then all of your yarn overs are shifted over by 1 stitch, which in the grand scheme of things really isn't a big deal. That happens to me all the time. Nobody's ever said anything when I'm wearing a really pretty sweater with a really nice lace pattern and I'm 1 stitch off. But that can tend to be frustrating, and then you might want to make you pull it out. So if you're missing a stitch, or if you find that you start to work this and you're off 1, then you can kind of just adjust and jump to the right pattern and add a stitch here or take one away over here. There's all kinds of things that you can do to fudge it to get off. But anyways, okay, I'm going to get back to this and I'm going to keep going, and then I will meet you at the placket. See you then.